What did you eat for breakfast?
I ate eggs and bacon. Yeah, I was very hungry when I woke up.
Welcome to Music on Your Own Terms, the podcast that aims to help musicians develop an entrepreneurial mindset through interviews, as well as discussing resources, concepts, successes, and more. Providing a platform to talk about negative emotions such as anxiety and depression in order to help overcome them in the context of music and reduce the social stigma. This is episode 136.
This episode is sponsored by Ignite Your Music Career. You may remember in episode 90 I chatted to Craig Dodge about sync licensing and how he makes a living through writing music for TV, video games, and film. Musicians all over the world subscribe to Ignite Your Music Career and earn more royalties, more upfront sync fees, and more recurring revenue from their music. Whether you're a composer, singer-songwriter, band, beatmaker, or instrumentalist, your music can be earning you more money. Internationally acclaimed composer, musician, and music educator Craig Dodge has licensed his music in more than 1,000 TV show episodes, films, video games, and ads all over the world, and he will show you how you can too. Ignite gives you the information you need in a simple, accessible format, and you learn at your own pace. For just $6 a month, you get a video lesson each week on topics related to music licensing, from writing techniques to how to find your markets, and everything in between. You also get tools and activities to build the skills you need to be successful, and each lesson includes a royalty-free sound pack to download and use in your own music. The key to success in the music business today is to diversify your sources of revenue. Ignite will show you how. For more information or to subscribe to Ignite, visit the website at taris-studios.com or click the link on musiconyourownterms.com. We head back to Greece this episode for a chat with an incredible session guitarist, Fotis Dillonikolas, who, after being ridiculously busy touring with various bands and pop singers, has finally had time during COVID to record a solo instrumental album, which, by the way, seriously rips. Fotis talks about his musical upbringing, his career with two of Greece's most well-known singers, touring and recording with a band signed to Sony Music, and now working with my good friend Ria to promote his first solo release, Alma. We also take another trip down the guitar gear rabbit hole because I tend to do that. Fotis gives his tips on how someone might go about becoming a session musician. And finally, he talks about which guitar he might choose if he was offered an endorsement deal. If you enjoy the podcast and want to show your support, I'd be really grateful if you would consider signing up for the mailing list to stay in the loop with everything going on with the show. Just head over to musiconyourownterms.com and click the link. While you're there, you can also visit the store and grab some merch, or just buy me a coffee and help out with the running costs of the show. Thanks for listening. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today I'm joined by Fotis Dillonikolas, a guitar player from Athens, Greece. How are you, and welcome.
Hello, Simon. I'm very good. Thank you for having me. Yeah, that's it for
Very
the
welcome.
beginning.
We met because you're working with Ria, my good friend,
Yes.
with your promotion. She has an amazing way of finding really amazing musicians. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind starting us off, just introducing what you do in the music industry.
First of all, I met Ria through Kostas Sabanis.
Mm-hmm.
You met him too, and
Yes.
you had another interview with him.
Another fantastic guitar player. Yep.
Yeah, and very good friend, very nice guy. And yes, so I started. So let me begin with the album. So basically with what I do. So I'm a session guitarist, session guitar player. I'm a musician. Since I was 16 years old, I started playing with bands and more professionally. I started playing guitar when I was 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I wanted to be a drummer,
Okay.
but guitar. I started guitar, but at the same time, a little bit drums. I was practicing with friends, so I learned a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I started playing with bands, different kind of genres. Like all the standard, metal, hard rock. Every guitar player, when he's young, tries to play like Metallica, Iron Maiden, Pantera. Lot of music, bands and guitarists. Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, and through the years, I started playing other genres too, like funk music, like pop, good pop music. I really like. Finally, the last 5 years, I think it was 2015, I started. I mean, all my life I was recording stuff, but since 2015, I had the idea to, start an album and just figure out what I want to do with my style and my
Mm-hmm.
musicianship, like do something.
Sure.
So I started recording ideas, and because at the same time as I was working a lot as a session musician, I didn't have too much time to really concentrate and let my mind free and just record and compose whatever I feel, good with. So with the first quarantine last year here in Greece, started March, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I had plenty of time.
Right.
Very
Right.
bad things happened, but
Yeah.
the only good thing was that I had time to just do something with my music and don't freak out. So I started recording and composing, and starting again with the some old ideas I had, and starting to put them together to make songs. So
For sure.
I had from my album, which is called Alma, there are 9 songs, and 3 of them were old ideas. The rest of the songs were just ideas that came through the process. And so, I felt like I had a good moment, like I felt really good with what I was composing. And I started March. When was the first quarantine? The first strike was like 2019. Am I right? Or
Yep.
20? Yeah, 19.
Oh, yeah, 19, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
no 20.
20, no, 20. 19 was
It's
in
20.
yeah. So 20, yeah. And
It feels longer. It really
it
feels longer.
feels yeah, yeah. My god. Anyway, yeah, I had 2 songs ready in 1 month, and then I took my time, I didn't want to rush things. And I finished the album November 2020. And then I started the whole procedure with basically I did the production in my home with my home studio and guitars and basses and whatever. And I finished it. I really had in mind what was the what I wanted to sound like. But I'm not a very good sound engineer because I'm more into the session playing. I called my friend Dimitris Radis, who is a very good guitar player and a very good sound engineer and mixing. He has a lot of stuff to do and he knows his job very well. So we started mixing the album, and I'm really happy with this. We had a very good, he's a very good friend. So we did this together in very good terms, like it was very nice. And at the end, Apostolis Schiopis from Thessaloniki in Greece, he did the mastering.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the whole process of the album, basically.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic sounding album.
Thank you.
I started seeing your videos initially when Rhea sent me the email, and I got the kind of instrumental guitar stuff, but then when I dug into the album, I hear a lot of Steve Vai in your phrasing, maybe a bit of Guthrie Govan, and then there's this whole other like rhythmic influence from Animals as Leaders, and
Yes.
it basically sounds like kind of like Animals as Leaders with Steve Vai in front of them, almost. If people want a general idea without listening to the album, but I love the ideas and the playing, but yeah, it's the production's excellent
Thank
as
you.
well. So,
Thank you.
is any live drums or it's all programmed?
The drums are all programmed with my mouse, and
Right.
then my friend Dimitris is Jim, English. Sorry about Dimitris, but yeah, Jim did he made it sound better
Right.
and more real. So yeah, everything is with my mouse, just
Mm,
clicking. That was a lot of work to do, but I really liked it.
Yeah. Let's talk quickly about your writing process.
Hmm.
Do you come up with any emotional ideas and have something in mind when you write, or is it you just have ideas that you kind of go through, and then like where do the names come from and what's the concept of the album?
Yes, generally when I start composing or writing some riffs with my guitar, I just feel like I really want to feel comfortable with it.
Mm.
So I have one basic idea. Generally, I because I like other kinds of music too, I would like to fit some characteristics from other genres and
Mm.
put them together in a way. And that was my you know I was really trying to do it without being cheesy or weird.
Right.
Usually I start recording good riffs I like, and then I'm putting the drums, and I'm at the same time, if I have one riff, I'm just trying to mix it in my home studio as well as I can to have the just to imagine how it's going to be at the end, because I really
Mm-hmm.
get the sound I would like to have. For sure, is some ideas came from emotional stress, especially Raindrop, the fifth song
Mm-hmm.
of the album, which was it was just the first part of the song just came up 3 months after my grandmother died. So it was
Oh, sorry to hear that.
pretty emotional. It was just one riff in 2016, and I started again
Mm.
2020. But generally, when I start creating songs and ideas, all the time I'm just thinking about visualization, like listening to the song, and I'm just trying to imagine things like I don't know, space and whatever comes to my mind, or me playing with my band in a stadium or something like that. And I take a lot of
Mm.
energy thinking about this. And at the end, yeah, sometimes I overdo it, and I can listen to the song like when it's complete, let's say 90%, and I'm like, okay, fine. But I let some days to pass, without listening to anything. And after 1 week, I listen to it and I'm like, hmm, okay, it's good, but I'm bored. So I have to change something. And sometimes I take critical, decisions. So like, okay, this part off, out, trash. I have to change it. I'm getting bored of
Right.
it. So yeah, and sometimes I'm getting really stuck, like I have some ideas and I'm just trying to compose and how this is going to connect with the other part, or how it's going to resume. So sometimes I'm just not trying not to think as a guitar player,
Mm.
and I'm trying as a keyboard player, or I'm not playing keyboards, but I'm just putting a MIDI track and I'm just trying new things with other sounds and stuff, and sometimes this works.
Right. Absolutely. So let's go back. What got you into guitar in the first place? Why did or you said you were messing with drums as well. Like
Mhm.
what got you into playing music in the first place, and why did you end up settling on guitar?
Yeah, since I was 3 years old, my family generally was listening to music, lot of music, and not Greek music. Hard rock, rock, and Iron Butterfly. My father was had vinyls and CDs everywhere in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So since I was 3 years old, I was with my headphones and I was just pretending I'm playing guitar or drums or hitting the sofa with sticks and whatever.
Hmm.
So I think that was a very important time in my life to realize that I really like this thing that I'm listening. And I remember the first album I was listening that really stuck in my mind, and I think it was a big helped me basically to understand many. I don't know how to say it, sorry, basically about the rock and roll way of thinking,
Hmm.
was Mick Jagger's solo album. I think it was called Wandering Spirit.
Okay.
And to be honest, I wasn't listening to Rolling Stones, but this album of Mick Jagger, I really liked it, and I remember it had the rock and roll vibe, and it was 90s, so the production was boosted 80s production,
Mm-hmm.
but with all the 80s characteristics. And it
Yep.
was something really good. And the 90s were, very good take it. So I had a lot of music to listen, and Brian Adams and Eric Clapton, and my cousin was listening to Judas Priest, and I had the Painkiller Judas Priest vinyl. And I was a little kid. I was just watching the artworks, and I was just blown away.
Mm.
Yeah, and all this started, I think, because of my family. And my cousin was playing guitar too, so we had an electric guitar at home
Okay.
and an amplifier. So I started. I believe I was 8 7 8 years old. I started just taking the guitar and put it in the amp and just trying to sound like a guitarist. And then I started lessons 9 years old. Yeah, and I was very lucky because my parents always were, they realized that I really like music and I want to do something with it.
Mm.
So they asked me and said, "Okay, start something you like, and let's see how you're doing." And I really liked it, and I was very lucky to have these parents because they helped me a lot in my life. Everything I wanted to do with music, they were very supportive all the time. And yeah, I think this is a win situation if you love something and you want to
For sure.
continue with it.
Yeah. So you said you started playing professionally from age 16. So that's basically what you've done, all your life is professionally play music.
Yes, yes. Yeah, when I was kid with friends and school camps and just trying to play all, Rage Against the Machine, Red Hot Chili Peppers, all
Right.
everything we liked. Yeah, and suddenly with my first band, friends from school, we started playing in some places here in Athens, some bars, and one thing led to another, and yeah, my whole life is music, and this is my job and my life basically.
That's fantastic. So if you weren't able to do music, what would you be doing?
Hmm. That's a tough question. Yeah, I think I have the answer. I really liked tennis. So I was playing
Okay.
tennis and guitar the whole of my life. So I think I was good in tennis, but the guitar just, I loved guitar too much to leave it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can imagine myself playing tennis because, I was an athletic kid. So I really liked it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the first thing that comes to my head. But now, if we talk about now, because I'm not going to be able to be a tennis player. I think I could do something again with music, just like like a audio engineer or producing or something like that. If I'm not playing guitar.
Awesome. Yeah. So let's dig into your session work a little bit. We had a little bit of issues scheduling this because you're so busy.
Yeah.
Were you on tour or playing with Eleonora Zug?
Zuganelli.
You talk about her. Yeah. What? So talk a little bit about her, if you will, and what that gig entails.
Let me start it from the beginning.
Sure.
But from the beginning. There I have played with two pop singers, well-known pop singers in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I was playing. I'm still playing, but he's not playing right now. He's not doing gigs right now because of COVID. The first one is Sakis Rouvas, who is a pop singer, very popular pop singer in Greece, and I was playing as a session guitar since this last summer, basically before the COVID,
Mm-hmm.
since 2015. So right now, because he stopped the gigs and because things get weird with COVID and it's not so safe to have gigs and shows, Eleonora Zuganelli, which is in my opinion, one of the best singers in Greece, female singers, and I really like her work and her music. Yeah, asked me to go there. Once I was free, I was like, yeah, of course. I really wanted to play music.
Mm.
1 year was off. We're not playing in stages, and I think in a musician's life, this is 60% of what we do. And
Right.
it was a very big gap to fill, and I really feel good with this. yeah, we had a difficulty to arrange our interview because 1 month I was doing rehearsals the first month, and then we started touring around, and we are still touring. She can do some shows because she arranges the gigs in theaters, which is small theaters, and
Sure.
this is more safe to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm doing for the summer. I don't know what will happen next, to be honest, but I'm happy with it. And before 2015, I was with a band called, in English, called Red Carpets.
Okay.
So I had a 7-year career with Sony Music in Greece. We were a known band in Greece, pop band.
Mm-hmm.
So and we stopped around 2014. And from this band, I learned a lot because we traveled around Greece and Cyprus. We had many gigs. At the same time, really, I met many people. I had a lot of experience from live shows, and this helped me to have a step up when, unfortunately, we stopped with the band. But after that, I really wanted to do my music and continue working with singers I really like to work with, because I realized that when I'm working with someone I don't like his music too much, I cannot do it 100% like a
Right.
killer guitar player. Like, okay, I'm gonna play. I don't care. I'm just gonna be paid, and I'm gonna go. That's not something that it's bad, but generally I just
Mm-hmm.
feel like I really want to take part with projects that I really like, just to have myself free to do other stuff too and be happy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way I'm working. That's not for everyone. So yeah, this is my way of thinking, with my job and being a hobby at the same time. And I have to balance it all the time.
For sure. Yeah, so let's do a bit of nerd out with guitar gear.
Yeah.
Apologies for non-guitar players, but this is a guitar episode, so
Yeah.
yeah, definitely saw you have both versions of Petrucci's Music Man.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
First of all, what are you running for gear? I think I saw. Did you have a Line 6 pedal board on
Yes.
one gig?
Yes. Line 6, Kemper stage.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, when I started playing guitar, I always had a Line 6 pedal board.
Mm-hmm.
First, I had the red bean. It was like a kidney, the red one,
The original one.
and then with the extension, the original, the first one was great. After that, I had pedals like Cathedral Reverb.
I have one of those. Yeah.
I had some Bogner pedals for analog.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. But the nature of my job, when I was going to play with musicians and other musicians and bands and pop singers and whatever, we had to cover many different styles.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very expensive to have a huge pedal board with different sounds and different everything. So it was much easier to have a digital pedal board.
For sure.
And I of course I prefer the analog, but sometimes I just want to make my life easier.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays it's digital became much more. It's very true. I mean, if you know how to use it, I think you can have very good sounds. So I have right now I have the Helix
Mm-hmm.
and the Kemper stage. That's it from digital. And I have 3 amplifiers.
I assume those are the ones I saw in the video. One's a Black Star.
Yeah,
I forget what the other two are.
Black Star EVH 5150,
Oh, that's right.
the small one, and
Mhm.
Angle Fireball.
Nice. When you were recording your album,
Mhm.
were you getting tones from the amps, or were you doing plugins, or was it a mix?
The album is all Kemper stage.
Oh, wow.
All the sounds are from Kemper stage, and the mix I did was with different guitars. Most of the songs are played with Music Man Majesty,
Mm-hmm.
mixed with. Oh, sorry. Some of the songs are Music Man Majesty mixed with my Tele, Thin Line, Custom Shop.
Yep.
Some of them are Tele with PRS 513,
Mm-hmm.
and I used Parker Nightfly too in some songs.
Okay.
Basically, all the album is there are 4 guitars: the Music Man 7 string, the Majesty, the PRS 513, the Tele Thin Line, and the Parker Nightfly.
Okay. Awesome.
Different combinations from each song because I was trying to have a solo with my Tele, and at first I had the rhythms with Tele, so nothing was cutting through.
Right.
And then I changed the rhythms with PRS, and suddenly something changed and it was better. So yeah, I was just trying to have good sound with these guitars, and yeah.
Awesome. So if a guitar company came to you with an offer for an endorsement, what would you choose?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not in position to. I'm not sure, to be honest. I really like Music Man. I really like PRS.
Mm.
I really like Fender, but I know Fender with this genre is not so. There are not many artists playing prog or gen having a Fender endorsement.
Well, you say that, but I interviewed Angel Vivaldi, and he put out his Chauvel
Ah, Sarvel. Yeah, of course.
signature.
Oh, I like Sarvel.
So
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm gonna say Sarvel. I cannot say one because I really like all these kind of guitars. I really like Sarvel. I really like Music Man, PRS, and Fender. Yeah, yeah. It depends. It depends. It depends from the what you really need as an instrument when you want to play. So
for sure.
but if I'm not talking about a company, I can tell you that I really like to have a custom guitar like a Fender Stratocaster, but
Mm-hmm.
boosted, like Sarvel basically, which is
Mm-hmm.
a super Strat kind of guitar. Yeah, I think I really like this kind of instrument and have all these different combinations with splits and boost like Music Man has, and a mix of things from other guitars.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah. So I mean, let's just before we get into the non quickfire round, let's talk about Rhea a little bit. You mentioned you met her through Costas.
Yes.
What was the impetus of getting a publicist? Like what brought you to that decision?
What I thought was that I really don't know much about promotion.
Mm-hmm.
I know the standard stuff, like I can talk with people. I know some people who I can talk and have good relations. Generally, I'm okay with people. I don't have enemies, I think. But I cannot do everything on my own, and I don't want to do
Mm.
anything on my own. I really need help from people I really trust, and I think they're doing their job very good. So once I saw Ria with Costas, and then I saw Costas posting stuff, posting interviews, and we were talking at the same time because we were very good friends. And he told me that, how they arranged the whole project of the promotion,
Mm-hmm.
and I was okay with that. And I was like, okay, this is my first album. Let's start with something and see how it goes. I mean, nothing can go bad because I started
Right.
from point zero as a professional, no, not professional, sorry, as a musician. Because as a guitar player, musician, nobody knows me yet. Maybe in Greece they know me, but yeah, we're in
Mm.
Greece. So I really wanted this to expand, and yeah, and Ria is helping very much. Yeah, and I hope that I can start having live shows, make a band. I have some people in mind, and we have talked already. And I was thinking about maybe moving out, maybe England or America or whatever, just something to
Awesome.
happen and play gigs and see what happens. Because what I do here is not for Greece, basically.
Mm.
It's not, yeah, the target group is there. So I really want to do it
Absolutely.
and see what happens.
Well, you never know. We could get Rhea to arrange like a Greek G3 tour and bring it over to the States. That would be fantastic.
That would be great. That would be great. And I have to say that you will be blown away by the guitarists and musicians we have here. I mean, because of the quarantine, the last 1.5 year, many musicians composed their songs and albums and bands
Mm,
and everything, and in their home studio because they didn't want to freak out. So
right.
it's amazing how much music emerged from all this thing, all this situation. 1 year now, we have great players, great, really great players. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, I saw the jam video that you participated with.
Yeah,
That was fantastic.
the jam. Which one?
There was the guy that posted it. I've forgotten his name, but he does a lot of lessons. And Irene Kedikidi was on it.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. George
Yeah.
Marius. He's in England. George Marius,
Okay.
and yeah, yeah, yeah. Amazing guitar players, all of them, and very good
Oh yeah.
friends. Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember
Blown
now.
away by that video for sure. Awesome.
Great.
So let's move on to the non-quick fire question round, where I ask the same questions that I ask every guest.
Okay.
What significant negative experience have you overcome, and what did it teach you?
Hmm. Negative experience have overcome. I believe that a negative experience is when you lose someone you really love. Let's say because of death. What I learned is that humans are made to move on, I
Mm-hmm.
think. And you have always to think about something that really keeps you strong and not let your mind loose, and just keep thinking and keep doing things so you can stay strong and overcome difficulties. I believe that the most important thing is to be really happy and with what you do, and have healthy mind. Probably
Mm-hmm.
this is maybe these are the correct words, and I have a difficulty of saying all this thing in English, to be honest, because I'm trying to find the words.
Right. No worries.
But I think you get the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because 3 months ago I lost my uncle, basically.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
It was very, very sudden and sad.
Mm-hmm.
He was working a lot. He had many issues. I mean, not issues, but he was working a lot, and he wasn't living the last time. Really, he wasn't happy. You could see that. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I was telling him, like, okay, I understand that you have difficulties. Just chill out. Difficulties. Just chill out and just try to live your life at the same time. Because, man,
Mm-hmm.
all everyone in the world is running. It's running all the time to have money, pay the rents,
Mm-hmm.
pay everything, and as years are passing, you just do stuff you don't really want to do, and at the end you die because of cancer, because of heart attacks, because of whatever. So I'm just trying to, sometimes when I feel like I'm overdoing it, I'm just trying to say, okay, just stop, take a breath, and just brainstorm again, and
Mm-hmm.
just think about things that you really love doing, and stay healthy. Good food, good sleep, and all the rest is coming, I think. From If you think about this in your life, I think good things are coming. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, to be honest.
That's fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you, thank you.
What major positive experience has given you the push to follow this journey?
There are sometimes I feel very good when I get feedback from what I do as a session guitar player, as a human being, as a personality, or we don't get feedback usually, fast when we start doing something. Sometimes the feedback might come after 2 years, 5 years, or 7 years when you do.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe life shows you the way, and if you really feel good with what you do, after a while you're just coming to a point and you say to yourself, okay, I made this good decision. That was a good decision I made 3 years ago.
Mm.
So I believe this is the strength I get. And of course, when I hear very good words from people who I don't expect, not I don't expect because they're bad, because I don't know them probably, and because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that they're going to say something about me. And of course, when I really feel free to tell my opinion with always kind way and not keep things inside of me. This makes me feel good and continue. And of course, when I'm playing live and I really feel good with it, and I take the energy of the people who are watching the show, and I take energy from a lot of many things in my life, not only from music. Or I think it's a whole thing of, or many experiences that you get positive vibe, and this is, I think, this is the point.
Awesome.
I'm not sure if what I'm saying is making sense, and
No,
if I'm jumping,
it's great.
but yeah, I'm just letting my mind free, and yeah.
That's perfect. No, that's great.
All right, I'm fine.
If someone wanted to get into like session work or making music their living,
hmm
what is one piece of advice you'd give a musician looking to get into that world?
First of all, find out what are you capable of doing. That means what kind of music you want to play. If you want to play all kind of music and you feel good with that, that's fine. If you are happy, then we are happy. So first of all is know your abilities, not guitar abilities, abilities of the mind, and what
Mhm.
you are really capable of doing. Then if you are about to do it, you have to be 100% professional. Be ready, be on time, not just on time,
Mhm.
before the other guys go to the studio, because this is something that makes you feel good with yourself, not just for the other guys to say, this guy is professional.
Mhm.
First of all, you have to feel good with yourself. So at the same time, have the balance of something that, let's say, a band, you're a session guitarist in a band, and this band says you can play this in a way that I'm asking you to do it. So yeah, of course you will try to do it, but at the same time, when you're trying to do it, I think the most important thing is to give a little bit of your personality, and not being not trying to be a robot that is playing guitar like a MIDI.
Mhm.
I don't think that in session playing is that you have to be a virtuoso guitarist like Steve Vai. This is something that, of course, you have to be, one level and up. But I don't think that this matters so much anymore. I mean, I think that the vibe and the way that you play and your personality wins
Mhm.
first. Then, if you have all the other stuff, that's good. That's even better. But always feel good with yourself with what you do, and always, all the time, politely, or always politely set your boundaries, and just know what you're doing, so that if sometimes things go crazy, you know who you are, basically, and no one
Mhm.
can tell you anything about this. And of course, be professional 100%, even if you want to leave and go to another band or another, never leave someone without a guitar player or whatever
Mhm.
kind of musician you are. That's what I think about this industry.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Final question is, what does music mean to you?
For me, music is a way of life, to be honest. I think to be a musician, music is. I cannot imagine myself without music and without playing guitar or listening to music. But I think is a way of living. For me, at least, is yeah. I'm always playing music. I'm always meeting people who play music. I'm always in the studios or going to jams and
Mhm.
other going to see other bands playing. I'm just trying to be all the time to take information from things, and from people I really admire, and just trying to keep all the time, this fire, let's say. So I think, yeah, it's my life. Yeah,
Fantastic.
my whole life is music.
Awesome. So if people want to get in touch and listen to your music, find out more about you, where can they go?
Yes. So they go on YouTube. They can write Fotis Daily Nicolas. My album is on all music platforms. If you write Fotis Delinicolas Alma, you can find my album. So Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, you can find, and Bandcamp, sorry, you can find me as Fotis Delinicolas. That's it.
Fantastic.
That's the name.
So at the end of the interview, I like to play a track from the artist I'm actually interviewing. So which track off the album would you like to play?
I would like to listen, to be honest, the 7-track Judas,
Okay.
which was a song I was listening yesterday again because I had a lot of time to listen to it. Yeah, and I would really like to listen to it, to be honest.
Okay, sure. And is there a story behind it or anything you can tell about recording it?
No, I just started with the first riff, and I had my speakers very loud, and it was a puzzle. It was a puzzle of ideas, and suddenly it came together, and I was really happy with it.
Excellent. All right. This has been a fantastic interview. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Continued success, and I hope we stay in touch.
Yeah, of course. Of course, why not? Thank you very much. It was great. Great talk.
Thank you so much for listening. I'd really appreciate it if you would leave a review on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform, as this really helps get the word out about the podcast so other musicians can benefit from the awesome knowledge that my guests are sharing. The more the musicians community collectively learns, the stronger we will become. A rising tide lifts all ships. This episode is sponsored by the Skinny Armadillo Printing Company in Fort Worth, Texas, offering a full range of apparel decoration and promotional items such as screen printing, embroidery, laser engraving, and much more. The Skinny Armadillo is now offering a merch fulfillment service including on-demand printing and a custom-built web store so you can concentrate on your music and running your business as a musician. Visit theskinnyarmadillo.com or call 817-546-1430 to learn how the Skinny Armadillo can help you take your merch to the next level. Keep pushing the needle and be excellent to each other. This is Fotis Delinicolas with Judas.